I've never hit infinite before. And right now, I'm at 99 and 99. Like literally 99 and 9 cubes. I'm 1 cube away. This is Season of the Animals, and I'm so excited to get that card back at the end here. And we're gonna see what happens. Okay, we're gonna try to get it right now, and we'll see what happens. And if I get it, then I'll go through some of the decks that I used to get here. I've been playing since October, so when the full launch happened, the middle of October. I had a friend show me about it, and I had heard about the game, but I don't know. I just didn't. I wasn't gonna. I mean, it was in beta, and I don't know. I just wasn't concerned with it, I suppose. And yeah, he showed it to me, and I instantly, like, really enjoyed the game. And so here we are. What is that? November, December, January, February, March, April. Here we are. 6 months later. And yeah. Gonna get infinite. I've hit 90 the past several. Ooh. I think I can just prank him with the Attunma. We're just playing Attunma, right? And actually at this point, with what I've got here, I am gonna snap. And maybe they'll just leave. We got my sick gold Cosmo here. Very epic. It's a tie. It's a tie here. Okay. That would have been pretty crazy. All right, it's a tie here. Ooh, this is epic too. Okay, so here's the question. I definitely don't Red Skull this. I think we Claw. And then Claw and then Destroyer here, I think. They're not gonna be able to do it, I don't think. And even if I don't actually want to Destroyer mid, I can like Titania Red Skull mixture. Oh, we've got it. I'm pretty sure. They're gonna beat 6 over here and 7 over here. They think they've got this mid, right? They could like arrow pull me over here and that would suck. Okay, well, I mean... Yes! Oh! Yes! There we go. The first game. Oh, it's so good. Oh, yes. Here we go. Infinite. Oh, geez. Okay. Very exciting. There it is. 105 because it put, it even gives you the bonus 5 on that. Wow. Here we go. Okay. Okay, relax. Everything's fine. It's just a card game. I am very excited though. But like I said, the past, I don't know, at least 3 months, I think I've gotten to 90. Last month, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten infinite last month, but it was really busy. I went and traveled to a launch event for a new physical card game and was trying to learn that game for like a week or two. And so I wasn't playing much Marvel Snap then, just barely doing the minimum to get the weeklies and whatnot. And what else? I got to 98. I got to 98, and the last day, I mean, I was also playing some Destiny 2, so I'm sure I could have gotten Infinite last month, but here we are, we did it. Infinite. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about some of the decks that I've used. There's some fun ones. I have a variety of decks that I enjoy using. This month I used a lot of this Iron Valk deck, using Valkyrie and Iron Man and Mystique and Blue Marvel on the last turns to be able to reset, the opponent's power with Valkyrie, Blue Marvel being a way to set my cards higher than theirs, as well as Ant-Man or the Hood's Demon being a way to win that lane. Also, I mean, you definitely don't need Kang in here. I literally just put Kang in here because I had Daredevil in here and I just wanted maximum information. And this deck plays really interestingly. A lot of the times, some of the early turns look a lot like playing nothing. Just hoping to draw a Bast to get Bast on Mysterio, Angela, some other things. Sometimes I'm just laying down an Ant-Man early, I guess, and then I'm just considering that as an option for the Valk lane later. And this game was fun. I played this a lot during the hot location where it was, I think, Sinister London, where when you play a card there, it also plays a copy at another location. That was really fun with Iron Man, being able to Iron Man on turn 5, so you get 2 Iron Mans, and then Valkyrie, that lane as well, and then that Valk's another lane. So many people don't play around Valk. That could be because Valk is still a Series 4 card. Maybe a lot of people haven't been purchasing her, but she is going to be Series 3 here in just a few days, so maybe people will learn. But I think it'll still be a little bit obscure because it's not super popular, and it's not just an auto include in any deck. So you'll probably, be able to trick plenty of people with Valkyrie. Very fun. Let's see what else. I did use this Atuma X a little bit, but I'll show you the last couple. This Animals deck. I didn't actually play this deck, did I? No, I didn't play this deck. I did play a little bit of this wave deck. What do you call it? What are they calling this? I guess it's got Sandman in it. As soon as this season launched with Hitmonkey being the season pass card, I'm not gonna lie, this was literally the first deck that I started playing, and just wave into Sandman, or even just literally playing Sandman naked on turn 5, so crazy. And sometimes just setting up an armor attunement lane to win there. Mr. Fantastic in the mid. This deck performed really well. Not really too many complaints. But then there was a lot of other people playing the same deck, and it was kind of annoying. For the most part, being able to retreat when you're gonna lose, because they're up, the Sandman's up, you don't have Doom, they probably have Doom, you leave. Not a big deal. And it also has the famous turn 5 play wave and nothing else, and then turn 6 you can play She-Hulk and a solid 6-drop here. Magneto did some awesome things in this deck, so definitely recommend this. I did eventually start playing this Sarah Hazmat deck with Hitmonkey, and this deck was awesome. This I literally I'd only been playing this a little bit over the past few days, and the Zabu and Sarah combo, being able to get you your Enchantress, Shang-Chi, and Absorbing Man down to just 2 energy, so you can play all the other cards in your hand. This deck also is another deck where a lot of the times you're doing nothing. Well, you're doing nothing turn 1 almost all the time, even if you have Bast in hand, because usually you're trying to draw like 1 or 2 extra cards to get the Bast onto everything. And what's really cool too is Luke Cage also fixes your cards, so if you end up basting your Enchantress or your Sarah, and you end up playing Luke Cage, Bast will give you that, or not Bast, Luke Cage will give you that power, 1 extra power back on each of those once they're on the board. But this was sick. This was super sick. Plenty of times using Absorbing Man to be a double Hazmat or a double Hitmonkey. Really fun. Nothing too crazy here. Enchantress did some good work in here. Being able to have Absorbing Man double up on a Shang-Chi sometimes, pretty epic. Sometimes doubling up on an Enchantress. This is actually a really powerful deck. But, you know, Hitmonkey's popular now, which means Sandman is popular now. So sometimes you gotta swap the deck out. Too many people are playing Sandman. And then, let's see. I mean, really, the Iron Valk deck was the major one. The major one for sure. I also did play some Galactus. Okay. There was when it was Kamatage. I don't know if that was during this season or last season when I was playing that. I can't remember, but I might as well point it out. Okay. I think it was this. Maybe it was the very first week of the season. Maybe. I can't remember. I can't remember everything forever. Yeah. Super, I mean, expensive deck with the Galactus, Kang. I mean, Null's Series 4. Or is he 3 now? I don't think he's 3 now. I guess it's not that. I mean, Shuri, they're a bunch of these cards are going down now though. So, well, not these two, and so it'll be easier for more people to get. And I really enjoy the Nimrod and Destroyer option in here. Of all the Galactus variants that I've tried, this one just felt kind of the best. I really don't even think Death's necessary in here. I feel like I almost never am playing Death. So you could honestly, for just extra insurance, I guess you could really swap Death out for Psylocke as well. Or you could even put Psylocke in for Wolverine if you want instead. Sometimes Wolverine has been a reason that I've had to concede some matches, or even today I lost 8 cubes because I played a Galactus down in a lane where my opponent had 4 power, and I thought to myself that, sick, this is going to be fine because I don't have priority, and I'm going to be able to lay down my giant Null. Well, I didn't because Wolverine came over as a 4 power, so then I was at 6 and I had priority. So then my opponent was playing a deck that likely had Shang-Chi in it, and it was too risky. So there's a downside to that. Nimrod can also be a liability in that sense as well, but sometimes Nimrod is just better. And I also still like Nimrod in here because it's an alternate win con, because sometimes you just Shuri into Nimrod somewhere, and then you just play Destroyer somewhere, especially when your opponent has done some things that make it so you're not able to play Galactus. So, actually really fun here. This is really fun. Actually worked plenty good for me, I'd say. But I guess this last deck, I mean, you kind of saw it. I was playing it on that last game. I only played this deck a little bit. I played this deck a little bit last season as well. It's a really great deck. Nightcrawler used to be Sunshot, or Sunspot, that is. Sunshot is a Destiny 2 hand cannon. Sunspot. And today, when I opened it up, this deck, and I was looking at it, because I was trying to think, I was switching up my decks a little bit, because I don't know, I was just a little bit nervous, and I was just too worried about queuing into an exact counter to what I was just playing. Also because I was playing a lot of the same opponents over and over, and I didn't know if I wanted to play with Sunspot in here, though I know that the reason Sunspot's in here is so that when you Professor X the lane, that you can float some energy and have Sunspot grow so that you can win that lane if you didn't win that lane already. But I don't know. I just threw Nightcrawler in there. You really probably don't even need Sunspot or Nightcrawler in here if you don't want. You could probably literally just put in Daredevil. Honestly, might even be better just to put in Daredevil. So this deck is really good. A lot of the way that you're trying to play this, I've just so you're curious, if in case you're curious, I find the ideas for most of my decks from Twitter. Sometimes they're literally a 1-to-1, but a lot of the times I take a deck that I see on Twitter, I try it out. Sometimes I change a card or two, and that's where I get most of my deck ideas from. And this one, was a Twitter deck that I saw, and the person suggested that you storm the right lane most of the time. You just plan that sometimes you just start out and just, play your lizard right, play your storm right, and, depending on the situation, if they played enough cards there or not, you can always claw in the middle to be able to get the extra energy there over to the right. And then maybe you were able to armor and attunement another lane. And I think in theirs they didn't have Cosmo. I'm not sure if they had Cosmo in there. But whenever I see Destroyer, I just think of Cosmo. I want Cosmo and armor. Not just armor to protect my other cards in a different lane when I'm destroyering on a lane, but so that sometimes you don't even draw armor. You get to use the Cosmo as the armor for all of your lanes with Destroyer, because you just play Destroyer in the same lane as Cosmo. So that's really good too. Another alternate to this armor and attunement play is that you can just play attunement on turn 4, and then almost always can just Professor Exit on that lane and just win that lane. So I've literally had some games that I win with this where, like, I don't know, I play almost nothing meaningful on the first several turns, and then I literally just play Attunement, Professor X, Destroyer, win the game. And it's kind of like a Shuri deck that's not as obvious, I guess, to your opponent. And so it's pretty fun, pretty powerful. And it got me my last like 3 or 4 games. So super sick. I guess that's all I got to say. Nothing else. If you want, you could subscribe if you think that's cool. This channel is made for Marvel Snap type content and for the physical cardboard Battle Spirit Saga. So if you're interested in either of those, check this out. If you happen to be interested in Destiny 2 content, I also have a channel called Travi Dead, and you can go check that one out as well. So thanks for spending some time here.